The path less traveled. In the heart of a small, forgotten town nestled between towering mountains and dense forests, there was a well-worn road that everyone took. It led to the nearest city, where the townspeople traded their goods and sought out the comforts of modern life. The road was safe, predictable, and full of familiar faces. But not far from this main road, there was a narrow, overgrown path that twisted its way through the dark forest. Few noticed it, and even fewer dared to venture down it. One day, a young man named Elias, who had grown weary of the monotony of village life, decided to take the path less traveled. He had heard whispers of strange and wonderful things that lay beyond the forest, stories told by the oldest of the townspeople, who spoke of a time when the path was known and walked by many. Curiosity and a sense of adventure tugged at his heart, and without telling anyone, he set off with nothing but a small pack and a sturdy walking stick. The path was wild and untamed, full of thick underbrush and ancient trees whose branches intertwined overhead, blocking out the sun. As Elias walked, the familiar sounds of the town and the well-trodden road faded, replaced by the rustling of leaves and the occasional call of distant animals. The deeper he went, the more the air seemed to change, becoming cooler, tinged with the scent of pine and earth. Days passed, and the path grew steeper, winding up the side of a mountain. Elias encountered obstacles that tested his resolve. Sharp rocks that cut his hands, dense thickets that seemed impenetrable, and streams that were too wide to cross without getting soaked. But he pressed on, driven by the belief that something extraordinary lay ahead. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Elias reached a clearing at the top of the mountain. Before him was a breathtaking view of the world beyond the forest. Rolling hills, sparkling rivers, and distant, snow-capped peaks stretched out as far as the eye could see. In the fading light, the landscape was bathed in hues of gold and purple, and for a moment, Elias felt as if he were standing at the edge of the world. But it wasn't just the view that made his journey worthwhile. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient tree, its trunk twisted and gnarled, its roots deep in the earth. At the base of the tree, partially hidden by moss and ivy, was a small, weathered box. Elias approached it cautiously, his heart pounding with anticipation. He opened the box to find a collection of old maps, journals, and trinkets. The maps detailed lands far beyond the town and the forest, places that Elias had never even heard of. The journals, written in a delicate, flowing script, told the stories of those who had traveled the path before him, each seeking something different but finding a common truth. The journey itself was the true treasure. Elias spent the night in the clearing, reading the journals by the light of the moon. He learned of the trials and triumphs of those who had come before him, their hopes and fears, and the wisdom they had gained. As he read, he realized that the path less traveled was not just a physical journey but a metaphor for life. It was about embracing the unknown, facing challenges head-on, and discovering who you truly are. When morning came, Elias knew he could not turn back. The well-worn road and the comforts of the town no longer held any appeal. He felt a deep connection to the travelers who had come before him, and he knew that his journey was far from over. With renewed determination, he set off down the other side of the mountain, following the map to lands yet unseen. As he walked, he thought about the people he had left behind in the town. He knew they would never understand why he had chosen this path, but that no longer mattered. What mattered was the journey, the discovery, and the endless possibilities that lay ahead. Years later, when Elias's name had faded from the town's memory, another young soul would stumble upon the overgrown path. And like Elias, they too would be drawn to the mystery and adventure that awaited them, ready to embark on the path less traveled.